Join me as I take on the challenge of waiting for God with absolute patience. Can I really do it? Waiting for God can be tough. It's like being in a season of pause, where you're not sure what's next or when it'll arrive. But patience is a crucial part of spiritual growth. It's about trusting that God's timing is perfect, even when things don't happen on our timeline. Think about it. If we get everything we want right away, do we really learn to trust Him? Doubt creeps in when we're waiting. We start questioning if we really heard from God or if it's just our own desires. Frustration builds up when things don't change, and impatience takes over. It's easy to get caught up in trying to make things happen ourselves, rather than waiting on God. But what if I told you that's exactly where He wants us to be, in a place of surrender? We've all been there, feeling like we're stuck, like we're praying for something but it's just not happening. It's like we're shouting, "God, I'm over here. Can you please answer my prayers already?" But He often works in silence, behind the scenes, making ways for us that we can't even imagine. The thing is, waiting for God isn't just about getting what we want, it's about becoming who He wants us to be. It's about learning to trust Him, to have faith in His goodness, and to rest in His presence. Take Abraham, for example. He waited 25 years for the promise of a son to be fulfilled. Can you imagine waiting that long for something you've been praying for? But Abraham didn't give up. He kept his eyes on God, and when the promise finally came, it was more beautiful than he could have ever imagined. Moses waited in the wilderness for 40 years before leading the Israelites out of slavery. That was a long time to be in a place of waiting, but it prepared him for the leadership role God had for him. And then there's David, who waited years for his turn to become king. He could have easily taken matters into his own hands, but instead, he chose to wait on God. David's story is especially powerful because he wrote extensively about waiting on God in the Psalms. He expressed his frustrations, his doubts, and his fears, but ultimately, he chose to trust in God's goodness. For me, personally, waiting for God has been a journey of learning to trust Him. I recall a season when I was praying for a specific breakthrough, but it seemed like doors were closing left and right. It was frustrating, but in hindsight, that season of waiting prepared me for what was to come. If I had gotten what I wanted when I wanted it, I wouldn't have been ready for it. But because I waited, I was able to appreciate the beauty of God's timing. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. Don't give up while you're waiting. In summary, waiting for God with patience is about trusting His timing, learning to rest in His presence, and becoming who He wants us to be. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. If you've been encouraged by this message, I want to hear from you. Share your stories of waiting for God in the comments below.